This is Film Trigger. Stevie Cade.
I don't need breast implants. I lost 90 pounds. I have my own kids.
Seth Draven.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever gotten.
Ramon from Hit or Miss TV.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my hair bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47. Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
Hello, everybody. Ramon, having fun back there? Are you?
Hi. I was trying to be Geordie from Star Trek. He's the geezer in the Next Generation who's blind. And I was like, yeah, I'm Geordie.
I dig it. I dig it. That was fun. It was fun watching you. Like, I have, like, you know how these streaming systems work. I could see
the streaming
your box.
systems, because that's what we're using right now, ladies and
Yeah.
gents. A streaming system.
A streaming system. Yeah, you know what I mean.
System, guys. So, guys,
Anyway.
it's a streaming system.
All right.
System.
Well, System of a Down. I don't know why I said that. Hello. Welcome to Drive-By News on a Thursday. Yeah, we are going to be dipping our toes into the weekly waters with some drive-by news snippets here and there. We're going to try to find our toe. What are you doing? Oh, okay. I heard shit moving around.
My nuts.
Oh. Oh, man. Ramon, how are you doing, man?
I'm very, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking. Thanks. Cheers. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Is this earlier than you thought it was?
Yeah, because the clocks went back.
Forward?
Yeah, because it should... No, back. They go forward Sunday. Yeah. So it's 10 o'clock here, and I thought it was 11 o'clock.
So they go forward Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that we didn't have this issue when we did our own little meetup on Tuesday.
That is strange.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking about that. So anyhow, yes, we are here. We are here live to talk about a couple of things that came up today that I just really wanted to discuss with anybody who was watching. Ramon, you've had some time to sit on some of the stuff I've sent you. What? Okay, well, before I even ask any questions, the first thing that I want to bring up is possibly us being trolled by Sony because Morbius trailer bait. There's been a lot of say about this, that, and the other. We've had a lot of Morbius trailers in the past a very long while, because it's been pushed back so many times. But it's just that they've had so much time. We've seen so much Morbius content come out, and just about, if not all, Morbius trailers have hinted at a Spider-Man being in the universe, but it's been very odd. And I've always said, anytime we brought this movie up in a discussion, that I was really excited to see this movie, just because I wanted to know where it landed. Where does it sit in the multiverse of DC? Marvel. Yeah, sorry. You're right. Multiverse of Marvel.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm tired, man.
No.
So where does it sit in the multiverse of Marvel? And that is a huge question, because it hints at a potential Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with that like painting on the mural on the wall that says murderer.
Yeah.
It hints at maybe being part of the Venom universe, which we still don't know what Spider-Man universe that's part of, but he brings up Venom. We have the Daily Bugle, the logo, which is again Tobey Maguire, and then we have Vulture, which is part of Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yep.
And now,
the Oscult thing.
What's that?
And the Oscult building. Or did you say that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oscult
Oscult
building that
yeah.
hinted at Andrew Garfield.
Yep.
So like I was like, where does this movie land in the main scheme of everything? And well, it has come out today, and this is I will preface this with, this is not a fact. This is not something that we know. This is all just being somebody reported it, and it's kind of just blown up a little bit. Let me bring this up here. It starts off with a tweet here that says, From Tom Smith, it says, cut, scene cut, scene cut. Keaton still appears in credits in a different scene. In the words of Michael Scott, snip, snip, snap, snip, snip, snap. Or snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. Meaning all the stuff that we've seen, according to Tom Smith, they're just not in the movie at all. They've all been cut, and what we do get of Michael Keaton is not what we've seen.
Yep.
And so this brings on another tweet that comes on and says, is it true that Spider-Man and the newspaper were all trailer bait? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, there's one more I want to bring up. Where is it?
I think, go on.
Well, here it is. Okay. So, and somebody, an initial report comes in, corroborated by that hashtag shows Nick Santos, who is claimed to have seen the final cut of the film. According to Santos, Morbius is a messy film, unsure of what universe it exists in. Though it won't release until April 1st, Morbius has received negative reviews from journalists who have allegedly seen the film. The impressions that have leaked from the screenings are of a movie that is boring and uncalculated and only minor nods to the larger universe. What the hell does that even mean?
I think, I think you should address each thing, because they're all different, they're all different things, like you say. I think the Oscorp thing being brought up just simply because we've just had the recent movie with Goblin and all that, and it's like, oh, Oscorp and everything. And then what was the other one? The one on the wall for Garfield. I think, look, being blunt, it's Sony, and I think they're just not that good and organised at doing this sort of stuff. It's been multiple reshoots. There was the actor who's Matt Smith, who's in it, came out. He was the guy who played Doctor Who, one of the last Doctor Who's, and his character's been changed. And when asked recently who are you portraying, and he goes, I think I play Milo, or it might have changed to someone else.
Right.
So the movie's out, and even one of the guys is, whether that's him just like messing around, I don't know. But this isn't. I don't think this looks good. This is, to me, is going the same way as what Carnage did. Like, the characters there, I don't think fans are going to hate on something if it doesn't appear. If Spider-Man's not in this, I don't really care, because I just want to see the Morbius movie. However, if you're advertising something in a product, it's a bit shady to sort of put that in the sales pitch to the audience to try and draw them in. And then they're not in it. It's like us. We saw Sandman and all that in the Marvel Spider-Man thing, and if none of them were in the movie, we'd be like, "What the heck is this?" Like,
right?
I don't
yeah. And you bring up a good point with the Marvel trailers leading up to this. By bringing up a good point is Marvel is known to give us kind of mislead us in trailers to think one thing and it actually comes up another. Just minor things. Number one, I think it was Infinity War where Hulk shows up in the trailer, but it's actually Bruce Banner in the Hulk suit.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Little things like that. Again, the No Way Home, No Way Home trailer where you see Tom Holland Spider-Man fighting everybody, but in the movie it was all three Spider-Men.
That's right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's just a bit misleading, but it's not really swaying from the fact of what actually happens in the movie. It's just we're just getting more than we were told, so that's good. They didn't give it away. They hinted at it like it was there, but we got it. Now, for them to hint at it in trailers, I'm not really that bothered, because I wasn't going to go and watch this for Spider-Man. But once it was moved, because initially we were sitting on your show on a Sunday, and we were saying that we were concerned that it was going to be on January, because January is kind of a dead month for movies.
Yep.
So we're like,
that's where movies go to. That's where movies go to die.
This don't look good. So when they moved it, I was like, oh, cool. There was things about reshoots and stuff like this. Then there was stuff with Vulture being released and all these other bits, like the Spider-Man things. So then everyone's got all excited because you put it back to do reshoots, to do all this stuff. Then you cut it all out. It's like, well, what are you even doing? I don't think they have a clue, mate. I really don't.
So I have a question for you then, Ramon.
Yep.
If this is true, if what this person is saying is accurate, that all those things that led to, hinting that we'll at least know what universe this falls into are all cut out of the movie.
Yep.
What do you think your reasons why do you think that is? What do you think happened on Sony's end? There's a couple different options in my opinion, but what's the first thing that pops in your head? Like, why would they take those out?
I wouldn't have a clue. It could be a million. I really don't know.
Well, I have two thoughts. Number one being they lied to us. They're like, oh, we're just trying to get your attention in the movie to our movie here. Oh, Tobey Maguire, is he going to be in it? Andrew Garfield, is he going to be in it? Tom Holland, is he going to be in it? We don't know. Is Venom going to show up? We'll see. And like leaving that curiosity of where does this movie land? Okay, well, I want to. It got me. What have I always said? I want to go see this movie because I want to know where it lands. And then you show up and you find out that none of it actually is in the movie, and they lied to us, and they lied to us, and now they have our money, and they're laughing all the way to the bank. That's option one. Option two is something has happened, maybe them reacting to No Way Home, them not being confident in the movie, whatever reason, something has happened for them to be like, we're gonna change tunes here. We're gonna take this stuff out and kind of direct this in a different direction, which would explain why we had reshoots with Vulture recently that were told to us that we're going to be in Morbius. Like Michael Keaton said he was doing Vulture scenes. But now that also leads up to, well, did he shoot the real scenes that are going to be in the movie? And the stuff he shot before was just trailer bait just to get us into watching this movie. And if so, I'm pretty sure Sony didn't expect this to happen, but I can't figure it out. I can't figure out why they would do this to manipulate us when they know that we would find out that they lied to us, and that I don't know how they thought we wouldn't react to that.
I think you're right. I think there's a lot of things it could be, and it's a lot of speculation as to what we think it could be. One, like you said, it could have been the fact that movie, the Spider-Man movie, came out in December, and it's easy to jump on the bandwagon to try and grip that crowd. Look over here, we're next. So it's coming out in January. We're next. Then, what's his name? Beetlejuice went on TV. What's his name? Keaton went on TV, and they was on the Tonight Show with Bob Hope or wherever it was over there. You have
Bob Hope's been dead for like 20 years.
Nah, you know what I mean. The American, hey, want a cigar? That guy, yeah. So he was on there, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm here in the city because I'm doing shoots for Vulture," and everyone in the audience was like, "Ah!" You don't really sort of do shoots for Vulture if it's a post-credit scene. So he was obviously doing a lot more. So if it is cut, again, this might just be a thing that they're leaking today that might all be fabrication, because then it makes people curious to talk about it because no one really is talking about it.
It's the wrong type of curious.
Yeah, but
wrong type of curious.
I agree, but I still don't think any press is bad press. That's just, again, speculation on my part again. But I think it could be a number of things. It could be the case that Spider-Man movie came out, made $1 billion. This movie is being seen by all the execs and everyone, and they're gone, you know what? That's a steaming pile of nonsense. And then people like Keaton are like, I don't know about this, and they might have backed out. Or it might be a case that they've been given a bigger project, and they're like, no, we're going to remove them from that because we're going to start filming this in a month or two, and we're getting all of those characters in that. This storyline that you used in Morbius is going to throw that into. So there might be a bit of confliction between them and Marvel. I don't know. I'm sure
I don't know what confliction there would be. I mean, to me, what I see is Marvel has laid out this multiverse where anybody can exist in any universe, and you can cherry pick where you want to be and how you want to be and who's going to fit and where. And Sony, you have the rights to share some of our characters. The specifically the Spider people characters, because Sony owns all the rights to Spider-Man stuff. So I don't think we'll see Tony Stark show up. I don't think we'll see Hulk show up or anything like this. But and we have to remember also, No Way Home was a Sony picture.
I suppose, yeah. When you look at it like that, it's a Sony picture, yeah.
Yeah,
I was just going to say to you, so because before we go on, I don't want to get my brain mixed up with things. So in terms of Sony projects, we've got Venom, and we've got Morbius, and we've got Spider-Man. That's the only ones we've got that are currently those projects. Yeah, is that right? I think that's right.
Well, we got we got a couple more. We got what is her name? We got that female spider web.
No, but I'm saying what we've had coming out in the cinema. When we're talking about Marvel, we're talking about movies. Who owns what? the movies we've had in the theatre at the moment is Venom,
Yeah.
Carnage, Morbius, and like the Spider-Man movies, right? So it's none of
Right.
the others because that's all Marvel, right?
Right.
Well, looking at the track record, yeah, I think the Spider-Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man. I like the last one. I'm not as hyped as everyone else is. I love the 3 that came in it. We all want to see Garfield get another one, which I think he will. However, Venom, fantastic character, was a terrible. I like the first movie, but it ain't good. It is terrible. It's not really a good. It's not. It's just not worthy. When you
Right.
go, when you look at even the worst Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3 is a better movie than that with Venom. That's not even a good movie, but it's still a better movie overall. We had like the legendary flipping the dance that we all take the piss out of still. Like, but you know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
if it's a joke of a movie, it's still better than the first Venom movie. The second one was shockingly bad.
Yeah, it
Shockingly
was bad.
Again, great cast. Everything is there to make something brilliant. There's no excuse. With Morbius, I was excited because I like Jared Leto, but I've got that concern again with the previous projects, like we've just said, that it's only really Spider-Man that's been given the love and affection to be something special. The others
Right.
have been quite throwaway.
Why do we even like Jared Leto? Why do we even like Jared Leto anymore? I mean, like he hasn't had a good movie in a long time.
Yeah, I know, but I still think if it's the same with anything, if you've got, I do believe if you've got, I hear what you're saying, but I do believe if you've got a fantastic script, it doesn't matter really. It does matter who plays the part, but if you know what I'm saying, if it was like a Logan movie, Morbius was on the same level, you know, efforts gone into it as Logan with Jared Leto, we'd be going, fuck me, man, wow, that was dark, it was amazing, it was vamp. We'd be coming away screaming hard. We wouldn't give a damn Spider-Man was in it because it's a great movie. I'm not confident after the Carnage movie that I've got any faith in them, Sony, when it comes to these independent movies, like the individual, you know,
Right.
Like they're trying to create something. I get that, that's cool, but they're not really putting in the same sort of effort.
Right.
Should be. Like Spider-Man. You look at that Spider-Man movie. Jesus Christ! Even though I wasn't a massive fan and everything else, look at how much went into that. Like how many? I know it was a bit too many characters for me, but the effort was there to. Right, we've got Lizard, we've got Electro. We're going all in with the stories and the multiverse and Doctor Strange and Wong's turning up and the love story. That, you know, how is he going to end up at the end? Morbius is just like, right, it's coming out in 2020 now. It's been delayed because of COVID. It's been pushed to December, so now we're putting it in January. Now it's not coming out in January. It's coming out. It's just being like that's not confident in a project. That's not.
Yeah, it's almost like Sony's taking the Warner Brothers page of movie making, you know, reading out of their book, and that's the thing that's got me the most concerned. Again, if this is true,
yeah.
It shows possible deception. It shows misorganization. No, like who's controlling what, who's mismanaging. How do you? The point I was trying to make earlier is like, how do you have, you know, all these options laid out in front of you, and you end up coming out with a movie that someone's calling boring and uncalculated? You know, like how does that happen? You know, okay, if you want to do a Morbius movie, they didn't have to include Spider-Man, but now they've set up all of their promotion to hint at Spider-Man being at least on the outskirts. I'm not saying I've never once thought Spider-Man would ever show up in this movie, and I still don't. But like, all I wanted was to know where he was, where it was going to fall into, what universe is he connected to. And according to this early review, we still don't know. You know, you watch this entire movie and you don't have any answers or any questions answered for you besides, you know, or how did Morbius begin? You know, that's the only answer, which would be fine if that's all they presented to us. But they're presenting all this stuff saying, hey, look what you're gonna get. Look what you're gonna get. I'm just joking. You get this, you know, and they hand you something else.
Yeah.
If that's the case, man, we are being played. We are being trolled. I, in my personal opinion, do not trust people who make movies. They've proven over and over again to be sneaky, to be liars, to be abusive, to be money hungry. I mean, and that's just skimming the surface of how deep and disgusting, you know, the Hollywood people could go, or what they're rumored to go. But like, now just putting out these trailers that again, potential trailers that are just lying to you, that's a whole different realm. And I do kind of throw some shade at Marvel for allowing this to begin a little bit.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Right.
Let me finish
sorry.
one little point.
Yeah.
When Marvel started doing those little misdirections during their trailers, even though it was innocent and okay, we got a movie. Okay, Andrew Garfield's now lying. Like it's starting to snowball into you don't even know what fucking movie you're going to get now. You show up. Okay, man. Henry Cavill is in a new Superman movie. I can't wait. Look at the trailer. Henry Cavill looks great. And then you show up and it's another Batman reboot. Warner Brothers like, we got you in the seats, suckers, idiots. I can't believe
when you look at
it
like that. No,
where does it end?
Yeah.
What were you going to ask me, Ramon?
No, so with these properties, right? So Spider-Man is a Sony-owned property,
right?
Because it's in the MCU. Do Marvel have any say in the pictures that come out, or is it 100% Sony? I don't know.
Anything Spider-Man is 100% Sony. I'm pretty sure that everything that they do with Spider-Man is 100% Sony. Marvel doesn't have their hands into that. Now, if they bring in other characters, then I think Marvel has say-so of how those characters are played into.
No, I'm just saying because I'm curious as to whether, like, you think about it, he turned up in. I'm just saying, like, Spider-Man turned up. I think it was in Civil War first, right? Right. He turned up in Civil War. Now, was it the case that because they're using? I know they're using a Sony product. I'm just saying. Do you think Marvel has a larger power than Sony in terms of when Sony's making a Spider-Man movie, there might be some execs or a bigger power in Marvel, like, look, the Spider-Man has to be like this because it's got to fit into our... Or do you think Sony, no, we're doing it how we want, that's it? Right, okay.
That's it. I think the only one that there's any sort of agreement on is Tom Holland's Spider-Man himself. And I even think that's ending. And it was more so, well, you can use this version of Spider-Man that Marvel helped create so you can put him into the Marvel movies. But like, that's it. After that, he's back to us, which is kind of like, I think where they're going, the end. Spoiler alert for No Way Home. At the end of No Way Home, when they show him going back to that, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man aspect, I think that's maybe their way of saying, okay, see, he's coming back to the Sony world, and now we can take him out of there, and just now we can do with him what we want without the Avengers and all that being a part of it.
I think that's a bit concerning. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think Marvel has had their best run so far.
Seth Draven, which is here in spirit, by the way, says Marvel has no say in anything Sony does with the character outside of the MCU, and even then, Sony still has the upper hand. Yeah, I remember there was. Thanks for chiming in, Seth. And by the way, for anybody who's wondering, Seth is not here because the internet is down at his house, so he's here in the comments. Thank you, buddy. Yes, even a couple of years ago, there was. I think it was right before Far From Home, or right after Far From Home was being released, that Disney tried to use their big foot and come down like, actually, you know what, we're going to end everything unless you give us 50% of whatever prices or whatever deals you make, that have Marvel characters. And then Sony pushed back and said, actually, no, we don't agree to that, and we'll just take Spider-Man back, and pretty much left Marvel on their knees going, wait. Hold on, let's renegotiate. So Seth is right. Marvel has no say-so in anything Sony does. And that's good. That's the major upper hand that Sony has. Now what Sony is going to do with that is up to them.
Yeah, I think it's a concern. I really do, because, the Spider-Man movies, for good or bad, they're still decent. They're still good movies. They're not bad movies. They're good films. So I think it's concerning that the only other projects that they've done have not, they're just throwaway. They really are throwaway movies. And I don't mean that in a horrible way, because I love the character of Eddie Brock. I love Venom. Venom's just one of the greatest villains of all time in the comics to me. He's one of the greatest. He's amazing. Yeah. And when they announced that with Tom Hardy, I'm thinking, oh, damn, they're going to be like doing Venom. It's going to be dark. It's going to be... it's Tom Hardy, you know what I mean? I'm thinking this guy is going to be a beast. And
right. Nah,
just
it's mediocre. It's mediocre,
it's,
which
I mean,
eh,
I'll watch it, but
yeah, it's not terrible. It's just not great or
yeah,
good. It's not even good. It's just middle of
it's
the
just
road.
it's kind
Yeah,
of like the
yeah.
first couple of
Forgettable. It's very
it's
forgettable.
kind of like the first couple of Thor movies to me. It's kind of like I'll watch them.
Right. That's a good
Like,
comparison.
do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll watch them. When I, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you look at all the Disney movies, you go, "Oh, look at all the Marvel movies on Disney." You go, "Oh, is all of them films? What am I
Right.
going to go?" I always go for the Captain America ones because he's my favorite. But
I can
in
see that by
gen-
your shirt.
he's my hero, bro. That was my question. I'm going to ask you in a minute, anyway. Cap is my favorite. I love the dude. So, but it is. I kind of see those the Venom movies, like the first couple of Thor movies. I don't hate them.
Yeah.
But like when there's all them other movies there, and I think, right, even when I've watched them all, even if I've sat and watched them all, right, like I've finished watching them all, right, let's go and watch Thor. I think, no, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to go and watch one of the Avengers movies instead again.
Yeah,
I'll still, and that's not good. Rewatchability. I mean, it's not, you know.
Yeah, they're not good. You're right. Why choose Venom when you have all these other like really good ones to choose from?
Yeah.
Seth chimes in. Venom is a personal guilty pleasure of mine,
Yeah.
but it definitely could be better. Yeah, you're right, Seth. The first one I wouldn't call it my guilty pleasure, but yes, I know it's yours. Okay, so let's back this up a little bit. Let's say that all this, hoopla that's going on in the media of potentially this movie just as a trailer baiting everybody into thinking they're getting one thing when they're actually getting another.
Yep.
What if this is a marketing ploy? What if this is just somebody in Sony's like, oh man, I got a great idea. There's no such thing as bad publicity, right? Bad publicity, right, guys? Well, check this out. Let's start a rumor, and that will make people want to come and see this movie even more. If that is what somebody did, it has failed miserably, because here you and I are doing nothing but talking about how disappointing Sony is in light of this news. And I'm not excited to see this movie. I was excited to see it before because I was very curious where it would land, but now,
But
according to this, I shouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's why I say no publicity is bad publicity, because we're talking about it and no one was talking about Morbius on any platform, right? So say the movie does come out.
I don't know if that's true. People were talking about Morbius.
Not really. Come on, man. Not compared
We were.
to like...
We're a platform. We were talking about it.
Yeah, but we were like, oh, Morbius is coming out. Yeah, cool. But we're not like... But what I'm trying to say is, right...
Now everybody's talking about it.
But what I'm saying is everyone is talking about it, right? And they're saying it's not going to happen. Now, like you say, if it's a trolling thing, and say the movie comes out and then we hear Sony did like Andrew Garfield's in it or whatever, blah, 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 then all of us that are making these videos now are going to make another one next week or whenever, in 2 weeks. They all lied to us. Oh my God, Andrew, we're all going to be going mad. That's given them free publicity through the negative to troll the fans. They're like, they got us, they trolled us.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes because all of those characters are in it. I really don't know. Again, because we don't know what they've really done.
I don't know what's really going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing if, again, I wasn't really going to watch it for all of that. These ain't really the reasons that I'm even put off too much by the film. It's more the case of they're delaying it.
Yeah.
And it's making me a bit like reshoots. Every movie has reshoots, but when it's happening quite a lot with this film, I'm like, I think this might be another Carnage, I think this might just be another... They're going to throw loads of visuals. We're going to go, wow, it looks good. It didn't mean nothing. I think
and it could go that route, but for someone like me who was excited because I wanted to see where it fell into into the multiverse, and the reason why that piqued my interest is because they could do so much with that.
Of course,
I mean, it piqued my curiosity because you have different universes in one trailer. Yeah. Like, what has happened? Will this movie tie in somehow to Multiverse of Madness? Oh my gosh, how great would that be if they were that communicative with Marvel and actually set stuff like this up? But hearing this is like, no, actually Sony hates you and you're gonna get something you don't even want to go see. I have almost no interest in Morbius besides where he was going to be in the multiverse, but now I have less interest. I'm sorry. At one point in time, I loved Jared Leto. Now I'm beginning to get exhausted by Jared Leto constantly not doing great at the box office. His movies always being controversial, not in a good way, but like he did a bad job sort of way. I'm a Zack Snyder Justice League fan, but even Jared Leto being in that movie was not impressive to me. Hold on.
Oh, I loved him at the end of that, man.
I can't get behind that Joker quite yet. And maybe it was just because how he was robbed in Suicide Squad, or potentially robbed in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But still, even in Suicide, like I thought maybe they would him showing up in Zack Snyder's Justice League would give him like a redemption for me, but it didn't. I just saw the weird same quirkiness that I didn't like about the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It was still the same thing. Well, that's a whole different rabbit hole. But basically, and I do want to move on because we want to keep this to about an hour, right, Ramon?
Yep.
Basically, two outcomes. We go see this movie. It ties into the multiverse seamlessly and opens up a lot of options to where Andrew, Tom Holland, and Tobey Maguire could all show up periodically. That's the Morbius we get, and Morbius is going to be that universal link from Marvel to the Sonyverse with Spider-Man. Or everything that we've seen and heard is a complete and utter fucking lie, and we're just getting something that has nothing to do with any sort of Spider-Man. Which one would you walk away happier seeing?
I'd be happier walking away. I'd be happy walking away with, just to be honest with you, a good movie, and I just don't think we're going to get that now. Either outcome, I just don't think we're going to get that.
So with this news, you still feel the same about the movie as you did before with this news?
Yeah, it's not really changed anything. Like, I was excited for it, but because it's kept moving, it's given me that Let There Be Carnage vibe. Because when that was announced, first of all, like, I didn't hate the first Venom. I just thought it was an okay. You know, when you like have a big studio do a series of movies, we've got a new Star Wars movie, and you go, right, the first one comes out, it was all right, it was good, it was all right, but it set everything up to be something. Like Venom to me was that. It was like, right, we've got the bad guy, the symbiote's in Brock, and I'm like, right, now we've got that out of the way, we've got the girl there, everything is there, the next one they can go to town. Carnage was awful. Like, Carnage was so bad.
It was a copy and paste of the first with just slightly different characters.
Yeah, so I don't have my interest and faith in them doing movies has been a bit, I don't know, like they've messed that up. I don't know how you can mess up Carnage. It's just not difficult. But
all right, well, so faith in Sony for you is about the same. Faith in Sony continuing in this post multiverse world is. I was excited. Now I'm less excited. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe none of this is true. Maybe this is going to be a great movie, and I'll be like, man, thank God.
That's what
thank God Jared Leto is being redeemed. Good for him.
Yeah.
But we'll see now. I just hold on. What if this is some fucked up April Fool's joke?
Oh,
I just thought about that.
It's genius. That's genius, yeah.
Okay, now I did say I've been saying this. I've been saying this whole time. If it turns out like this was a publicity stunt, it was a very poor one. I'm going to adjust that a little bit and say, if this is an April Fool's joke, then these dudes just punked us all. That's the only way. It's the only way I'm going to accept this. If this is an April Fool's joke, good on you, Sony. You got us. If it's not an April Fool's joke and it's a bad publicity stunt, you guys are idiots. Also, if you're lying to us, you're also idiots. But if this is an April Fool's joke, I can't believe I can't believe I haven't thought about that all day until I just happened to look up and saw April 1st, and I'm like, that's the date that this movie's being released. Seth comments here. I want to have faith in Sony and the Sony universe, but they are making movies that nobody is interested in, like Madame Web. Really? That's okay. Seth, that's fair. Like, who knows Madame Web? Who knows Morbius? You know. But at the same time, it's their jobs to make us interested. It's their jobs to make us interested in these characters. Yeah, who wants a Madame Web movie? I don't know. We have to see the movie come out and see if it's good, and then people will be talking about Madame Web. Who the hell was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy before they came out? Nobody knew who the hell they were, but they came out and they made a good movie, and everybody loves them now. So just because we don't know them doesn't quite mean that they shouldn't make the movie. I don't agree with that sentiment.
But that mindset, I think, comes from not having faith in the studio That's what that is. Faith in what
Right.
the company is. Because if I don't know, like I say, I loved Logan. If you told me the director, I don't even know who done Logan or wrote.
Seth, who did Logan?
Yeah, I'm not sure who done the writing, the directing of Logan. But if you said to me, I don't
should
even
know this.
know.
I think I.
But say like it was one of the most obscure characters in Marvel, and they said, right, they're doing the next one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'd 100% back it simply because I know what's behind it. But with Sony, the last couple of projects have been pretty crap, other than the
Right.
Spider-Man. So it doesn't really matter what they do. I'm just going to be like, James Mangold.
yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who
James
that
Mangold.
is.
All right.
So, and that was
Thank you, Seth.
fantastic. Like Logan was just, I love that. I think that's a great movie.
It was a great movie. It's well done. It was a creative decision, and an director being able to be an artist and tell the story that he wants to tell. Okay, so with that down, I will only accept this if it's an April Fool's joke. If it's an April Fool's joke, kudos to you. Wow. If it's not, you guys are idiots. And if this is all just made up, if this isn't true, and Sony is Sony sitting back going,
Got ya.
who is this guy? He never saw our movie, then fuck this guy. And also Sony, come out and say something if that's the case, because you might be losing people who come to see your movie.
I think you might be onto something with the April Fools,
I know.
really
I can't believe I never thought about that until
I think
2 minutes ago.
Because that's quite because they could have announced this stuff a month ago, but to do it a week or two before,
right?
It's like
1 week.
Just it's like someone's maybe thought of it. They should have said, "Oh, why don't we?"
Like almost 1 week to the day to the pre-screening tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so once one person goes to see it and comes out and goes, oh my god, and then all they're going to say, people will just be typing April Fools, and then people will be like, oh, what's that about? It would be if we, again, speculation. See, you've come up with something that's probably going to be better than the fucking film. So like, but that's what I'm saying with fans. It's annoying because we sit on here and make stuff up, and it ends up being better than half the films we watch. That's what's so frustrating. And we don't work in this. It's just like, it's a little frustrating. But again, if they did something like that, great. I don't have faith in it. But honestly, I want to come away like it's a Logan movie. I want to come away from it going, wow. Like I want to walk out like I want to see that. I've got to go. That's
the goal. That's the goal we want with every movie. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving forward, Morbius, hopefully this is an April Fool's joke. If it is, kudos to you. If it's not, fuck y'all. Or fuck the guy who made this shit up if what he's saying is not true. Now, this is all I wanted to talk about today until because I hit you up earlier. I'm like, hey man, you want to go live talk about Morbius? Because I just really wanted to vent about it.
Yep.
But then something else popped up. One other thing just kind of like just showed up, and last thing I expected to see, and that was a first look. Matt Reeves posts a deleted Joker, played by Barry Keoghan, scene from the Batman. Now, okay. Is this spoiler territory? This is kind of spoiler territory.
Yeah, no, because it's on YouTube. So just tell everyone what it is first.
Well, what I was about to say was in the Batman, they do reveal the Joker at the end, but very little. You barely see his face. It's a very short clip, and that was that. And it seemed kind of like, okay, great. They're doing that whole. Joker reveal at the end, just that Batman Begins copy and paste sort of situation.
Yeah.
And then Matt Reeves posts this beautiful bean footage. Right, that's an American joke. You probably don't get that, Ramon. No. He posts a 5-minute deleted scene where Batman actually meets with Joker in Arkham Asylum to help him try to figure out the Riddler case.
Yep.
Which is a whole ordeal. It's a whole different thing. And I can't show too much of this.
I don't think you should. I think you should just send people to it because they can.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, I do want to. Here, I'll bring it backstage. I am going to show little snippet, maybe not clips, but little photos of it.
Yeah.
Here you go. This is a good one. We get little snippets of exactly what Joker kind of looks like in the Matt Reeves Batman world. And, it doesn't look too bad, but Barry Keoghan is doing a decent job vocal acting with it. I am catching a little bit of kind of Heath Ledger is in there,
Yeah.
but that could also just be the nature of just playing that type of character. I don't know. It seems similar to me, which reverbs what I've always been saying about this movie is everything about this movie reminds me of something else I've seen in another Batman movie.
Yep.
But the thing that really has thrown me off, and the more I watch this trailer, the more Barry's performance is growing on me. But one thing I can't get past, and that's this look that they have for him. This obviously Ace Chemical burns, the shredded hair, and the very, very jacked up smile that he produces in this film.
I'm sorry, but look, I'm going to say it. That's a blatant Heath Ledger.
Right.
Like I know. Like you've got different versions of the Joker, but it's even the way, the shape of his face and cheeks, and the makeup is with his lips. It looks. If you'd have just shown a still with that and told me that was Heath Ledger at a photo shoot,
a missing clip of Heath Ledger's Joker right here.
If you showed that, if that would come out online today and said a missing clip of Heath, I would think that was him.
Yeah,
I would think that was him if it was just that photo. But whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I kind of think he looks pretty cool. I didn't even think it was the Ace Chemicals thing, when I watched it, because in the games there's a thing where he gets a disease Joker and he's dying and all this sort of stuff, and he gets all mangled and stuff. And I thought, maybe they're doing that because it's Arkham Asylum, the games. But either way, I'm not. To me, it was just another thing to see. I was like, yeah, it's cool.
Here's my personal issue with this iteration of Joker that we have. Again, like I just said, I feel like I've seen it before, but I was talking to Seth earlier on the phone. He brought up a very good point of something that I would like to see in a movie, in a Batman movie with Joker, or even any bad anybody from his rogues gallery. Can we just get a comic accurate Joker? or like, the big smile, lanky green and purple suit, listen,
over the top. Joker,
it's okay. It's okay to do this morbid, twisted face look, but we've already seen that. We saw that in the Nolan trilogy. And as much as the Batman reverbs Nolan trilogy, it does it even more, because now we've got, Heath Ledger Joker 2.0, he had the scars on the side of his mouth. Well, let's just make his whole body a scar. Yeah, that's how to amp it up.
Yeah.
I again, watching this trailer, I've watched it about 4 times now, and Barry's performance has grown on me quite a bit. Like I'm actually digging his performance, but the look is not working for me, man. Like maybe if Heath Ledger's Joker didn't exist, then this would work for me.
Yeah.
But again,
the whole deformed thing, it's quite
been there, done that.
That's quite nailed to Heath's one, because it's
then again, on the other side of that, we're not even talking about Jack Nicholson's Joker, and his Joker was also deformed as well. He had that.
Yeah, but his was deformed, but it weren't as grotesque, I don't think, as Heath.
No, his was his was a plastic surgery, best we can do to save your face.
Whereas Heath Ledger's was like, he was like disgusting, like this. It was disgusting to look at, but that was what made it so creepy and made it so good.
It made it so real.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's so real. That's the
I was
issue.
I know we're going on about Joker in this scene, but I was so devastated when he died, Heath Ledger.
Well, I mean,
fucking heartbroken, bruv. Because after I see that film, I was just like, it just messed me up watching it. I was just like, man, he was so good. And it's just, I know it's life and that, but damn it.
Yeah, Seth brings up a good point. Personal favorite part of the lead scene is his laugh. I 100% agree with you, Seth. That's what I'm saying. Like, watching this over and over again and watching his performance, I really dig his performance. I think audioly, like, if I didn't see this Joker, I just heard this scene, I'd be like, dude, I want to see this Joker. Yeah. And then they show me this, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. But there's a big but here. Maybe that's why it's not in the movie. Maybe they decided to course correct and like, okay, well, we're going to keep a little bit of a teaser in the movie. We're going to hide his face because we might tone this down a bit. You know,
I think
and
they'll save it. I think they'll save him for the Arkham Asylum thing. It's obvious,
Yeah.
isn't it? And that would be, that's, to be honest with you, that's the kind of place I want to see that side of him. Because if it's all like the villains and everything in Arkham, mate, I would love to see that Joker like that, mate. I'd be well happy. Like, because he can just let rip. He can just go and be as fucking, he can go as mad as he wants. And that's kind of what I want to see. Like, I want to see that.
So how many have you watched? You watched the full the full clip, right, Ramon?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's another part of this clip that I want to talk about. Pretty much the whole essence of Batman going to Arkham Asylum to inquire Joker's help to figure out the whole Riddler situation. This is something that we've never seen before cinematically. We've never seen Batman go to the Joker for help.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and get his opinion on things. This could play into a couple of different reasons. Number one being it just shows that Batman's still very inexperienced and he's not trusting his gut. So he goes to probably the worst person to go to for advice. And like the Joker, even in this little bit, like honed in on certain things that we found out later in the movie were true. But like the Joker really honed in on Batman. He goes, you and him have a lot in common, you know, and that was one thing that Riddler was saying in the Batman is like, you know, me and Bruce Wayne, we have a lot in common, you know, but he was rich and blah, 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 blah. You know, like it's amazing that it seems that the Joker's like right on it. He's like razor sharp with understanding the psychological side of, you know, the Riddler just through his files and how it does connect with Batman and why Batman's having trouble with it. And he says at the very end of the clip, you're having an emotional battle because you kind of think these people deserve to die. And you know,
it's pretty messed up.
It is. So I think conceptually speaking, the way the character is written, the dialogue that's being shared here is absolutely amazing. It's very superb. And I have never had any qualms with this version of the Batman with that aspect. My main issue, which I've probably beat to the ground, if you watch this channel, you're probably clicking off right now because you've heard me say it so many times, but I've seen so many things in this movie in other Batman movies, and this aesthetic that the Joker is in, his look, his makeup, it's just a darker, grittier version of something that didn't need to be darker and grittier.
Yeah, do you know what? You made me think about something when you said about asking for help, and you've not seen it before. Do you know what? It's recently this year actually. I just had to look it up because I weren't sure if I was going mad or not. I can't remember. Something similar happened with. I think it was Nightwing. Yeah, in Titans season 3, and Scarecrow's in prison.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that, wasn't it? And he goes to the prison. To me, it was some of the best scenes in the whole thing. Like, I absolutely loved just the conversation between them two, and it reminded me of that scene there. It's the same thing with like Clarice and Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs. That thing, go to the villain for help kind of thing, and it's like
I like that comparison a little bit better because the Titans comparison. The one big issue, and it's not really an issue, but like the thing with Robin going to Scarecrow was like Scarecrow was like the dude from the Big Lebowski. He's like, hey man, did you bring my weed?
You know what? I loved him. I loved that.
Well, I loved him too, but it was I think when it comes to the ambient feel, I think the Hannibal Lecter comparison is a little bit more accurate.
And it's weird because you see some that sort of thing in films, but not really a lot. And I quite like that because it's like you just said, it's not really that we're interested in what the Joker's got to say to reveal about the case. It's not really about that. It's about what he's going to say to the person, like to the Batman or Hannibal, to Clarice, how he intrudes in their own mind and makes them doubt themselves or makes them, like you said, oh, you'll really like him. And it's that sort of stuff we want to see and enjoy because it's like he's digging into his mind and you're like, that's messed up. But he does know him. It shows you that he really does know this character. And it's those little moments that make those scenes so special, I think. But I do. I think that they've just planted that in there for the Arkham show, which I'm kind of cool with because like you say, we've all seen the Joker so many times. If it comes into a show like that, and then he's in a movie a couple of years later that he's out now or whatever, I think that would kind of work well. But he looks cool. He does look cool.
I didn't mean to bring that comment up. Sorry. There it is. But now that you've brought up that Hannibal Lecter comparison, Jodie Foster's character going down and talking to Hannibal, asking the villain for help, that you're right. That is very reminiscent. But also just another thing to add to. I've already seen this.
Yeah.
I know. I need to stop.
See now, hang on a second.
Sorry, go ahead.
You've just said something. What did you just say? I went, oh, it's like Silence of the Lambs. And you went, yeah, but.
Oh, but it just reminds me, like, this movie is just full of things I've seen before. Seven, The Crow, Nolan's trilogy, elements that I saw in Batman v Superman, and now this Joker being reminiscent or just reminding me of Heath Ledger's Joker. And now you bring up the Hannibal Lecter scene. It's like, oh, you're right. This is kind of like that scene as well.
So why don't you like that?
It's okay if I notice little things here and there in a movie. Like, okay, I can see the inspiration here. But when I feel like I'm getting a movie that is a regurgitated version of a whole bunch of different storylines that I've already seen before, and they're like, hey, we just sewed all this crap together and put a different shirt on it, and here you go. Here's something new for you to watch. So, that's where I begin to lose. I stop watching the movie for its uniqueness, and I start picking out, I've seen that.
So
I've seen that, and that's what I did the first time I watched this movie.
So it's like you're watching it, you go like, I've seen this before.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a remake, or kind of like a remake when people did all these remakes.
No, not
like,
exactly.
Wait a second. No, like when people do remakes of movies and then you go, I've seen all of this before.
I know what you're doing.
Just saying. But you see what I'm saying? Now, that's what I've been trying to say. You know what? And there's another one that's coming to HBO Max, and I'm fuming. I'm fuming, mate. And it's called The Time Traveler's Wife. And it was with...
I love that movie.
Right. Thank you.
That movie is absolutely...
Eric Bana and Rachel Adams.
Dude, that movie is so beautiful.
Yep, they're redoing it on HBO. Why? It's another one.
Is it a series?
Yeah, it's a remake.
Because I could see that being a really good series.
It's no point. The story's been told. We've seen it. Do something else.
Well, listen, this is where you and I differ, man, because I can totally see that being a good series.
But we've seen it. You can't beat Eric Bana and her in that. You can't. Again.
Okay, no, we've seen the movie. Okay, let's say the movie. We've seen the movie. We understand what that story is. But if you bring us a new version that has a completely different story, it takes the same concept but a completely new story, then that's something else. The Batman, as far as my first watch, I've only seen it one time. But the Batman is a whole bunch of stories I know these stories. I know that directing style. I know you and Seven.
Yeah. The
movie
really
Seven.
Good,
like,
really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Watching Seven now, you start saying, "Wow, this is a lot like the Batman." Like you see it went from being inspired to, okay, they just literally just turned the seven into a Batman movie.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different than telling us a new story. That's telling us an old story in new skin. I guess there is an argument to be made. I'm not saying I'm right. I mean, if you want to boil that down and say every story is just a revision of a Shakespeare story, then you can argue that as well. But
I just mean it in the terms of, like, if you've got The Time Traveler's Wife, they must have done other books or everything that's something similar to that, or that's a complete. Yeah, again, I'd rather it just be, if there's another story like that, or if you've done Back to the Future, I'd like to see Back to the Future that starts off with, instead of it being a car, it's a fucking telephone box in the middle of Nigeria, and someone does it, and it's a completely different. Oh my god, it's a completely different. That I'm cool with.
All right, but here's a question for you, Ramon.
Go ahead.
Let's say HBO Max they come out with this Time Traveler's Wife series.
Yeah.
But what if it wasn't called that? What if it just had a completely different name?
Because we would both watch it and go, fucking hell, it's a Time Traveler's Wife. It's the geezer in the kitchen. I'm just going to make you a cup of coffee, darling. All right, I'll be right back. It's gone. Oh, he's closed on. Oh, this is what happens with him, you see. He disappears and then he appears. Oh, what, like the Time Traveler's Wife?
Okay, so would you be more upset going into something saying, I know I've already seen this, and then they tell you a whole different story, just based around that same concept of the time traveler's wife.
I think it's difficult, man. Like with that,
Or
because that's such a unique.
They change the name of something. You're like, ooh, something new, and you show up and you're like, wait,
this is
I've
already...
seen this. I know this. That's how I feel with the Batman.
I see. Yeah.
That's how I feel with the Batman. It had a whole new name, and it promised me a new story, and I show up and I just see different versions of stories I've already seen before.
It's like a merge of stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like a Frankenstein thing. As opposed to, like you saying, giving us the title, but then giving us a new story. Okay, I know the title, but I haven't seen this story before.
I swore at the TV, I started swearing at the TV. You know what it was, yeah? It was on silent. I think I was on like a computer thing, and I had my TV's above me, yeah? Like I work on the computer and the TV's above me, I just have it on. This trailer just come on, and it just starts off with like the typical thing that they do in all trailers, the piano. Ding. Yeah, like they do in all the trailers now. And it just had the guy, right? And he was in the kitchen, and he goes... And he disappears. And I was like, oh, that's like Time Traveler's Wife. And he went, coming to HBO. And I was like, no, you didn't. Oh, you mother...
Where did you see this trailer?
It must have been on YouTube. I think I just had like a thing, like...
Really? I'm going to look that up.
Oh, good cast. It's got a good cast, but I was just like...
Who's in it?
It's the dude that was in... I forgot his name now. He was in...
I'll just look it up.
Oh, my God. Divergent. He was in Divergent, and the woman I recognise as well. I forgot her name now. My brain's gone blank. But it's got a good cast. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, the film was only like 10 years old or something, and just the film was good. Let it be.
It's just about 10 years old.
Yeah, it's a decent movie. Really decent movie. I haven't seen it in years. I just remember... Do you know what? I just watched it because I like Eric Bana. I think he's wicked. But and Rachel Adams as well. She's great. So... Yeah. But I was just... What is going on here? What is going on here? Time Traveler's Wife. I'm sure it was...
Oh, okay. Is this the guy right
here? Yeah, he's cool. Like, yeah, he was good in this series that I see. I like him. I don't remember his name, but he's good. But I just thought, I've seen it. So...
Well, I'd still give it a chance just to see if it is just a retelling of the same story we've seen. But I could see that being a series. That being a series makes perfect sense. How's it going to play out? That you got me excited. Actually, this is the difference between you and I. It's like I hear about this, I get really excited because that makes sense as a series. You hear about it, you're like, fuck it all.
No, get lost.
But
I'm the same with. I love the Butterfly Effect, the first Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher. I'm not a massive fan of him. I love him in that '70s show. The first Butterfly Effect, I absolutely love that movie. If they made a TV series, I'd be like, get out. Because the first, it's like
that would be another one to be a good series, though.
No, I know, but I just think, just leave that. There's certain things that are special projects. I see the Time Traveler's Wife is a unique thing. I've not seen something like that before. Where I go, that's a great story. That's a beautiful story. It was awful. The story's awful. Losing your partner all the time and vanishing, but it was just so unique. And I was like, this is great. And it's like, right, let's take that and let's just shred it. Let's make 3 series till it's absolutely dead. Like,
what if it was a prequel, like a series of like just
the only reason I would watch
his life before he met her,
the only reason I would watch it now is if they made the Time Traveler's Wife and it was a sequel and it was him as an old man, it was Eric Bana and the girl come back and Rachel Adams on it. I'd watch that. If they'd done that now, what's going on? Boom. That interests me because I'd be like, yo, I've got to. I would be so
this can go into that territory. It could. It might have to like.
So he's a young Eric Bana, is he?
What I'm saying is it might start off like kind of retelling some of the story that we already know. Maybe in the first season, it comes second season. They can tell whole new stories of stuff we haven't seen. Maybe their daughter was born halfway through the first season, as opposed to the very end of the movie. And now we're being told, okay, this is what's going to pick up from here on. We got you caught up in our version of that movie. Now let's tell all new stories.
Get Eric Bana and Rachel Adams in. It's cheaper than a TV series. It'd be a good film. The end.
All right.
But that's what makes it a good. But that's what makes it a good discussion because the world is meant to be debate. The world is meant to be. You want that and I want that. That's the whole point of it all.
Exactly.
But it's just because I like that movie, bro. Like when that come out, I literally went to watch it just because I think he's so cool. I've got to watch this movie. And I was just devastated when I come out. I was like, I'm gutted. So when I see, oh yeah, now we're making it into a TV series. Ha! Fuck no, like no, mate.
All right. Well,
I'm passionate about the ones that I love, the films that I love.
I know you are. I love your passion. All right, everybody. That's pretty much what I wanted to come on and talk about. Just an hour of venting about my thoughts on Morbius, which hashtag hope it's an April Fool's joke. Let's start that hashtag, shall we?
No, we haven't finished it because I had to ask a question and we still haven't done it. So the big question is, right, because I stuck this on and I was getting ready and I was like, okay, you have to pick one. Who is your favorite Avenger from the first Avengers movie?
Hold on.
Yeah, your favorite Avenger from the first Avengers movie.
I'm typing it out so people can read it.
Oh, okay.
All right, who is my
the very
favorite
first
Avenger
Avengers
from the
movie.
first Avengers movie?
Yep. You got Stark, you got Cap, you got Thor, you got Hulk, you've got Wanda Maximoff, Romanoff. I think that's it.
I'd probably have to say I'm torn between Tony and Captain America. Tony because he's cool, but Captain America because he's just you see what you get with him. You know what I mean? He's very his integrity is just amazing. I have to go with the rock star. I have to go with Tony Stark.
It's good. It's good.
That's a good answer. We're gonna put that right on the refrigerator, right here, just for you. Good job.
It's good. It's got to be Cap, man. Cap is the greatest, bro. He's the greatest, man.
Seth says Hulk in that movie and that movie alone.
Yeah, he was. Do you know what? That one scene, I'm always angry. That's one of my favourite scenes out of the whole of Marvel. Just that one change, just the way that he done that. I'm always angry, and he just turns around with that punch. It's so epic.
It's a bit convenient because that kind of goes against everything that he is.
It's just the way that he comes up on the bike and they're like, hey, what's going on, guys? And they're like, hey, you want to get ready? That's my secret. I'm always angry. It's just the way he turns around. I'm just like, that punch come out. Oh, bruv, I went mental when that happened. I will say this. Now that Seth brought Hulk into the discussion, that first scene when Scarlet when she goes to him.
I always want to call Black Widow Scarlet Witch because her name is Scarlett Johansson.
I just said Maximoff. It's not. It's Romanoff.
Oh,
Maximoff is
okay.
Did the same.
God
yeah,
damn it.
Yeah.
That scene when she actually goes to collect Bruce Banner, for the Avengers. I always really like that interaction, because that shows you how scared people are of him who know who he is.
It's a great scene that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was introduced really, really well.
Yeah.
Because it was his first thing, and you're like, we've got a new Hulk. Is he going to be good? And those two, that instantly, you were instantly drawn into him. You was instantly like, yeah, he's cool. I like him.
All right, everybody. Well, that will conclude our show for the day.
Oh, don't worry about mine, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Captain America.
Huh?
You told us yours. You said Captain America. Did you forget that?
I couldn't forget about my favorite girl. He's the best, bruv. He's the best. He's the best. He's the best.
Did you think I was gonna? You did answer that question. You said yours was Captain America.
We'll lose, and we'll do that together too. He's just the greatest.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I said you know what you're getting with Cap.
I love that dude so much.
I had to go with the rock star. I had to go with Tony Stark.
Yeah, you're more Tony Stark. I'm more like, do the right thing. Yeah.
The way you word things are so.
I don't.
You are just a walking, talking gaslighter. All right.
That was a good one, though. I didn't mean that, but I didn't mean it to come out like that. It was a good one, wasn't it? What did I say? You're like, what? I said
you said, oh, you're like Tony Stark, and I'm like, I just do the right thing. Like. All right, everybody. Ramon from Hit or Miss TV, thank you for joining me on this impromptu drive-by news. Hopefully, we are going to start doing more of these during the week. I think I could shoe in 2 a week moving forward. Also, a little announcement. Ramon does not know this, but I do want to tell everybody the news. Seth will not be joining us for Drive By News on Sundays for the next 4 weeks. Yeah. Well, he's got to do big boy stuff, and for some reason that big boy stuff lands at the exact time that we're doing a show. So he's getting his license. He's getting his driver's license. Man, Ramon is gutted right like that right there. This right here is defeat. Seth, show your mom this. Oh, not that. Don't show her that. That's what's happened. That's what's going on. All right, everybody. Well, we're gonna go. I gotta console Ramon backstage. I was hoping this would end on a happy note, but I guess not. Well, go visit.
See him for 4 weeks.
Well, but the good news is, if we're doing this up to twice a week during the week, he will be joining us for those. Oh yeah. See, that is true pain, Seth says. All right. Well, with that being said, thanks for joining us, everybody.
This is how I felt at the end of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. And then,
Jesus. All right. Well,
I guess
we're just gonna end on this note.
This is what I'm wearing now. I'm not gonna move from this position for 4 weeks until he comes back. I'm just gonna sit here looking at my screen for 4 weeks, waiting.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna be all gross, depression beard, like stains on his shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting here until he gets back, and then I'll wake up again. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Seth's gonna show up, and you'll be asleep. You won't even know. All right. With that being said, please go to Hit or Miss TV. His link is in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. Also, we will be back Sunday for Drive By News. As always, stay trigger happy, my friends, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Thank you.